I wish someone made this video before I dropped 600 bucks on the Hurom H70. How is it that every YouTube video makes it seem flawless? Because if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. After testing 12 juicers, the H70 just isn't that perfect. Here are 5 things I wish I knew before buying it. When you pour your first glass of juice with the H70, there's something you'll notice immediately that almost no one talks about. Now, if you've used a cold press juicer before, you might be used to crystal clear juice with barely any pulp. But when I poured my first glass from the Hurom H70, I thought something was wrong. I could see these tiny bits floating around, and I started wondering, did I do something wrong? Is the machine defective? So I went to the Hurom website to double check. And right there on the product page, it says low pulp. But here's the thing, your definition of low pulp might be different from mine. And I won't sugarcoat it. Compared to other juicers with stainless steel juicing screens, the H70 has more pulp. And look, I get it. When you're spending 600 bucks, you want to know exactly what you're getting into. It's not like a smoothie, and for me, it wasn't a deal breaker because the pulp is actually good for you. Studies show it can help reduce your risk of cancer. Just thought I'd give you a heads up so you don't run into any surprises later. By the way, if you're looking to get the H70, I've got links in the description. I'll keep updated with the best discount on the internet. Using it saves you money and helps support the channel. Now, I spent over $4,000 testing juicers, and when I measured the juice yield for the H70 with celery, ginger, oranges, and leafy greens, one result stood out. For most of the produce, the H70 performed exactly how I expected. Oranges, great. Ginger, solid. Celery, pretty decent. But then I got to leafy greens. When I opened up the juice cap and poured it out, I was surprised by how little juice I got. Let me show you. Only 20 milliliters of juice from a giant 2-ounce bag of greens. The pulp was mushy and caught around the auger. Now, leafy greens are tricky for every juicer, but the H70 struggled a bit more versus the others. It's not a deal breaker, but if you're a green juice fanatic who's making kale and spinach juice every single day, you have to decide if less yield is worth the faster cleanup. Now, most of these are minor, and it wouldn't be fair or accurate to blast this juicer without showing you the bright side. Because after testing the H70 over 8 months, none of these were deal breakers. And the H70 has actually become one of my top 3 juicers that I easily recommend to my friends. There are 3 reasons that make it a great investment or gift. Reason number 1, most people stop juicing after a few weeks, and it has nothing to do with the juice quality or how much it costs. They buy a juicer, use it once or twice, and then it ends up sitting in their cabinets collecting dust. Because every morning when they think about making juice, they remembered what's involved. You gotta pull out the machine, find all the parts, spend 5 minutes putting it together, and suddenly that fresh juice doesn't seem worth the hassle anymore. I used to have the same problem with my old juicer, but watch how fast I can assemble the H70 without even looking at the instructions. Boom, 7 seconds, that's it. And when something takes 7 seconds to set up, you bet your bottom dollar you're actually gonna use it. You're not gonna let this machine sit in your cabinets. Because there's zero friction between you and that fresh glass of juice, the H70 is just gonna be simple to use and make it easy to stick to juicing. Reason number 2, here's how you know if a juicer is actually easy to clean. It's not about what the company says in their marketing. There's only one real test that matters. The next morning after you've juiced, are you excited to do it again? Or are you thinking about yesterday's cleanup and feeling like maybe I'll just skip it? Because I've owned juicers where cleaning was so bad that I just couldn't be bothered using them anymore. I'd stand there with a brush, digging pulp out of tiny crevices, wasting 15 minutes of my life. But this is a scrubless design. It only takes 50 seconds to clean, the auger pulls apart like Legos, and you just rinse it under the tap. There's even this drawbridge mechanism where pulp rinses out in 2 seconds. It's really easy to keep coming back to this machine because it literally feels like a cheat code when you're cleaning it. Reason number 3, there's this weird trend in the juicing world right now. Everyone thinks bigger is better, bigger hoppers, bigger machines, bigger everything, but I think some people have got it backwards because here's what actually happens when you buy one of those massive juicers. You use it once, then you realize it takes up half of your counter. So you move it into your cabinet to free up space, and once it's in the cabinet, you know what happens, right? It's out of sight and it's out of mind. You just stop using it. The H70 is way more compact, it looks great on your counter, and it's there for you every morning. And even if you do want to put it in your cabinet, like I mentioned, you can put it together pretty quickly. It's so easy to just grab some produce, drop it in, and then you're done. Plus, it fits whole fruits and vegetables, so that saves you about 15 minutes on prep. And it's even got this cutout in the top where you can keep adding more produce while it runs. If you don't need to make huge batches of juice all the time, then bigger isn't always better. All right, so you've seen the good and the bad, but you're probably thinking, is the H70 actually worth the 600 bucks? Well, let me put it this way. The Hurom H400 costs $700. That's the juicer used by NFL players like Nick Bosa and professional chefs, and it was featured on Forbes. When you compare the H70 to the H400, they're almost identical, but the H70 is $100 cheaper. Plus, they're doing a 15-year warranty now. The only area where the H400 has a beat is less pulp and a bigger hopper for batch juicing. But for $100 less, the H70 feels like a steal. If you want to get the H70, I've got links in the description below that I'll keep updated with the best discount on the internet. Just make sure you don't wait because I don't know how long these deals are going to last.